Hey everybody, Spine Ticks Pressing here, and I've got for you my 4 key picks and where to buy them. One from Marvel, one from DC, one from an independent publisher, and a FOMO pick. So stay tuned to the very end to find out what that crazy FOMO pick is for this week. So let's get to it. So let's get this list started off right with Marvel Comics. And the first book that I want to show you is The Incredible Hulk, issue number 377. That is the first appearance of Bruce Banner's persona as Professor Hulk. So let's take a look at a newsstand copy, first print. But before we look at it, let's look at the 3 different printings of this particular book and the approximate values of each.
There actually is a 4th printing which looks like a sketch variant. It's an international copy and they're quite valuable. So let's look at the 2nd printing, and you can see that the CGC census of that book is only 550 copies compared to 2,600 from the first print. And here's the 3rd print. It has a purple title and kind of a avocado green or yellow background. I'm particularly surprised that the 2nd print isn't more valuable given the CGC census total being only 550, just slightly higher than 3rd print.
All right, here's one I do recommend strongly. This one is on Facebook. This copy is being offered for sale for $19. They do call it high grade. It looks pretty high grade. It's difficult to tell if there's like a little bit of a spine roll going on here. We've got the black, and then it just kind of comes to an end. Seller is Alan Macassette. And when you go into the seller details for Alan, we can see what else he's selling. He's got a few other comic books, some clothing, looks like some type of a statue or something like that. So not 100% comics, but he's got a fair number of them. So Alan Macassette is the seller. He did note that there was a mild miswrap on the book, so that's good. It says he's going to pack it and send it to you in a Gemini mailer, and he's offering buy any 2 books, get a $5 book free. So let's take a look at Alan's copy, and we can zoom in through it. He does have some excellent photographs for the book. Spine looks pretty solid, other than the miswrap. Cover itself looks pretty good. I don't see any indentations or abrasions or scratches or anything like that. This corner looks all right. There's a little bit of an issue there, some slight wear. Edges look really solid. The rest of the spine here looks pretty darn good as well. Let's go to the other side. This corner looks really solid, really fantastic. So coming across this bottom edge, this edge, and that bottom right corner look outstanding. Top corner looks like there's a little bit of wear, but it's minimal. Colors look pretty good in the book. Looking at the back side, I'm glad he does have an image of the back. Looks pretty solid, pretty clean. Not sure if this is just the image or if it's a reflection. Might be a little bit of wear right in this upper right hand corner. And on this picture, we can see a little bit more of an issue here. There are some creases along this top edge on the back of the book. Spine on the back looks great. Staple looks great. You can see there is a little bit of evidence of the miswrap, and that corner looks good. The cleanliness of the back looks pretty good. Might need a little bit of a touch up with the whiteness, but all in all, this copy looks pretty solid. Always get a kick out of this photo here. I don't know what. Every time I see it, I think it's Pete Davidson, but this book came out, I think, 1990. So that's the book that I recommend. The copy that I recommend for if you want to get yourself volume 1. Let's take a look at a great pickup, I think, right here. Back to Mercari. Hey, why not get both the first and second print? I do dig the look of the second print with this gold title and the green inside Hulk. So we've kind of reversed the colors a little bit, and then we've added this kind of this gold up into the title. This book is tough, I'm sure, to get in high grade because of the black, but this one looks pretty solid. So this book is being offered for $28. I'd say get on this fast. This is a great deal, in my opinion, for these two books for that price. I mean, what is that? That's it's like 14 bucks a piece, and you got combined shipping built into it. So the seller is WAD, selling this on Mercari. So let's take a look at the close-ups. First, looking at the second print. Not sure if something's going on here, but I see a little bit of this white color, so it could be just could be anything, could be wear. Not sure if there's a little bit of a roll to that spine. It looks solid. This second print looks really good to me. Let's look and see if we got. I think it goes right to the first print. That corner looks all right. It's a little bit out of focus. I can't zoom any further, but that book looks pretty good. Let's see what we got going on with the first print. Definitely an issue down here in this bottom left corner. You can see a couple folds that don't appear to be color breaking. This corner I think is solid. I think it's a strong corner. That one looks all right. The upper left corner looks good. The spine looks good on this book. So both of these look to be high grade copies. Not sure if there's an issue with the staple. This is a little bit better view of this corner, so this corner looks better in this image. Let's take a look at this one. See if we can zoom in on that corner. Still, it's a little out of focus. This corner edge, the point in this top right corner looks better than the first print. So I think the better of the two copies, in my opinion, here is the second print. Not sure if something's going on right here, if this are just reflections. It's always difficult. Wish sellers would take their books out of the bag and boards. And we really can't see much here. It's sort of the same old, same old. So I think for the taking a chance on a package, this is a great one. This is one that, man, I would really be on it if I were you. If you were interested at all picking up Hulk 377, this is the one to get. It's on Mercari, and again, the seller is WAD. Let's take a look and see what the seller sells. Sometimes it's good to look at the seller and see if they offer primarily comics, which they do. They've got some pretty good titles. The Marvel Team Up 141, that's a pretty sought after book. So they've got some great books. So this might be a seller that you might want to bookmark here on Mercari. All right, so there you go. So there is Hulk 377, some different options for you. Maybe one of those fits your liking. And let's go on and let's take a look at the next book on this list.
The next book from DC Comics is Batman Adventures Mad Love 96-page special #1, which is the second appearance of Harley Quinn.
All right, so let's take a look at some copies of this book for sale on eBay. I'm telling you, this book is incredibly difficult to find in a higher grade. If you go on eBay and you'll look through, I would say like 40 listings of this book. There's quite a them out there, and this book is incredibly difficult to get in a high grade. I think because the ink that they used or the paper was really poor, or maybe because this was a Fox Kids show, the Batman Adventures that the book's based on, that a lot of kids got their hands on these books. I don't know, but almost all of them that I see, the black ink is worn off, and you can kind of see like a white residue. If you ever see this book in the wild, do not touch it. Do not take it out of a bag. Do not put your hands on it because it just looks really, really easily. It looks like it's easily damaged by fingerprints and the ink just coming right off. So let's take a look at this one though. This one is for sale on eBay. It's by BR Comic Hunters. Let's see if his little thing pops up. Nope, doesn't pop up. $89 is what they want for it, and you can make an offer, which is a plus. And they've got some nice pictures, but you can see what I'm talking about. Just take a look at this area right up there uh, behind the Batman logo. You can kind of see it's just this worn out. Uh, I don't know. I honestly I think it's created by fingerprint, by oils from somebody's hands, uh, just coming off the page. So edges and corners I think look great on this book. There are just some issues. You can see right below the Fox logo, there's some type of an issue there. Could be some grime. But all in all, this is one of the best ones that I saw by far. I mean, even this issue right there by the staple, you can see where that little white area is. Other copies that I saw looked far worse than this one. So let's see if we can zoom it in and let's take a look at a couple of the different pages. You can see up here at the top, I see that what looks like that. I don't know. It's just the ink wearing off or something. Maybe it was handled up there on the top because it appears to be on the front as well. Looks like there's a little bit of an issue right here. There is, I believe, a second and third printing of this book, but I just want to focus on this one. Again, this is second appearance of Harley Quinn, and really her first appearance does not have an image that looks kind of like she did in the cartoons, which is sort of that original classic look, which I really like, and I think a lot of collectors like as well. A lot of fans of Harley Quinn. It just look great. So a lot of good pictures. The book itself looks great. I think this may just be some glare, but like I said, I saw in a lot of other books this black, and you can see this. There's an issue right here. I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure if that was someone trying to clean it, and they took off some of the ink. Not sure. And you can see it kind of runs down this edge. There's a little bit of the ink removal as well. Left side looks pretty solid. All in all, I mean, looks like there's a little bit of pitting possibly in the book. But I think this is a good pickup. I think this is a good one, a good copy, certainly. Let's see if we can get back to the first image of this book. So I recommend it. Let's close it off so you can see again the seller. BR Comic Hunters. They've got 100% positive feedback, 936 sales. It's going to ship from Missouri. They want $10. It is a 96-page book, or sorry, not 96, 64-page book. So it's pretty thick. Certainly much bigger than some of the other books. So let's take a look at another copy. This one's on Mercari, and I think it's a little bit better condition. You're certainly going to pay the premium for it. It's $142 for this. But to get Harley Quinn's second appearance with this classic look, it may be worth it. All in all, looks pretty good. You can see, I think this again is a little bit of glare. Might be some issues with some color loss there. Right edge, that corner looks pretty solid. A little bit of wear right here at this bottom left corner, and maybe a little bit of wear above the staple. The staple appears to be right there. I don't know, it's possibly a color breaking issue right there. So let's see if we can zoom in on the back. See anything? Not sure what's going on right there. Might be just a little fold, a little indentation that needs to be cleaned up. Might be just some residue that needs to be cleaned off. The back looks good. Back of this book, I think, looks really good. They give you a nice inside picture so you can see what the inside looks like. Yeah. This great issue. If you are a Harley Quinn fan, this is a book to get a hold of if you can't afford her first appearance. So all in all, I think this is a great book as well. It's on Mercari, $142, being sold by Trishy. Let's take a look at her profile. She's got 20 reviews, 30 items listed, 16 sales. Let's see if she has a variety of items. She's got some knickknacks, some videos, only a few comics. She did have a copy of looks like First Batgirl that was she sold it for $250. Dropped it from $299 to $250, and she sold First Appearance of Harley Quinn for $924. So She's already dropped this one from 199 down. So I don't know. She doesn't look like she's focused on comics. She might just be somebody who really dug Batgirl and Harley Quinn, and she might move this at a lower price. So this is one you might want to take a look at. Trishy selling a copy of Batman Adventures, Mad Love, #1, or and for no number. Let's take a look at one more. Let's look at a graded copy. Because this book is so difficult with the color loss, I really do recommend going in and maybe even picking this one up. I mean, Trishy will have hers for 142. Here's one. Amy Tokerman is selling a copy of it, a 9.0 for 150 bucks. Let's see what Amy's, uh, if Amy even has anything else for sale. No. So Amy is clearly somebody who just really liked Harley Quinn and has no other comics. She's selling a guitar. So, um, you know what? I think this one, this could be a great crack and press candidate. I cannot see for the life of me the um, the serial number, but I think this is one that I might want to try to see if I can either get another close up of this number and look at the grader's notes. I'm unable to see it. Um, I'll tell you what, if I'm able to pull the grader's notes, I'll post them right now so you can see them. But I think this probably is the best pickup. Who knows? This, if you could bump this up to a 9.2, maybe, who knows? You never know with books like this. This could be just someone put it and slabbed it raw. It wasn't cleaned or pressed, and there could be some defects that could be cleaned up with this book. So there we go. So that's Batman Adventures Mad Love, no number, Harley Quinn's second appearance from 1994. So three great choices for you to go out there and maybe pick it up if this is a book that interests you. All right, let's go to our next book in the list.
From Dark Horse Comics, we've got John Byrne's Next Men #14, which is the first cameo appearance of Hellboy.
But if you don't know already, Hellboy technically first appeared in this incredibly rare pamphlet from the Great Salt Lake Comic Con. And there's a great video on Comic Tom 101, Comic Tom's website, and he's got a great video where he actually acquired one and shows it in detail in one of his videos. It's great. But the book that I'm going to show you right here is John Byrne's Next Men #14. It's a preview appearance of Hellboy, and it came out right before Dime Press for #4. So the one that I recommend you take a look at if you're a Hellboy fan and you can't afford the great big price of, or really finding this one is incredibly rare to find this pamphlet, or even Dime Press #4, is on Mercari here. And I recommend this copy. It's $10, $6 delivery. L. Wells 523 has it for sale. Let's zoom it in. Let's take a look at it. This one looks pretty damn good to me. Spine looks immaculate. Really looks solid. Maybe a little bit of an issue right here. Not sure if that's grime or what that is. Could be just reflection. But what I do notice is the colors look really vibrant on the cover. This corner looks great. The edges look great. This one is pretty solid. It really is. And we've got some issues right here. We've got some finger bends, one there, one right there at the top on that edge. Not sure what's going on with this corner. And there's a little spine tick there. Little bit of a color break on that spine tick there. Maybe some color rub. This corner looks a little worn, and that corner doesn't look so hot. And then what do we got? We got another image on the inside cover, and I think, is this the page where the Hellboy shows up? Some type of little thing in the background. I think that might be right there. Yeah, you can kind of see hell something. And this is, you can see like the little horns. This is sort of that cameo appearance right behind that kid. It's pretty minor, but it's a fun book to pick up. There it is again. Yeah, you can sort of make out Hellboy in the newer form right there. His horns aren't quite right, but something in the background. But I think this is a cool one to pick up. $10. I mean, man, this is possibly with some of these correcting some of these issues on the back of the cover. It's possibly a high grade copy, maybe a 9.0, a 9.2 for $10. It's probably worth the risk just picking it up. And if you can press these things out yourself, that would be great. Be a great pickup. So I want to jump to another book that I actually think you might want to think about picking up. Obviously, these two are pretty difficult to get a hold of. Dime Press 4. They're valued roughly around $600 a copy raw. And the San Diego Comic-Con #2, which is really the first appearance of Hellboy in a black and white story. And John Byrne put that little bit in this book. This is a tough book, I think, to find. But the one I recommend you pick up, why not, for the price, is the first appearance of Hellboy in a color image. And here's a copy right here on Mercari, $133. Preston's Nerdtopia has it for sale. Let's take a look at a zoomed in version. This one looks pretty tight. Don't see too many issues, although the book is not has not been taken out of the bag and the board. But when I zoom in, possibly an issue here. Not sure exactly what that is, that line. It could be a reflection. See it again right in here. See if we have some better images of that side. Looks like there's a spine tick there, spine tick there. Slightly color breaking on definitely color breaking on the bottom. Top one might be repairable and it's not color breaking. Looks like this is just a reflection of the plastic. And the last image they give us a difficult one, but you can see the corner. The corner is sharp, so that one looks pretty solid. Next Man #21. First time we see Hellboy in a color image, and I think I've got one more for you. This one's also on Mercari, and this is a 9.6 for $220. And the person selling it is Vindo Shop. And let's take a look at it. Solid. It's his first full color appearance of Hellboy. Kind of a nice copy, 9.6, not too bad. I don't even know if it'd be worth cracking and pressing this book to try to get a 9.8, but you never know. You never know. I don't think Hellboy is going anywhere in the near future. I think he's going to be a legacy character from now on. It's pretty popular. And really, I think all it takes is just a really good movie. I guess arguably you could say the very first one that was put out with Ron Perlman was pretty good. I think all of them are kind of sketchy. I like the character. I've not really liked the movies per se. And I think there's tremendous potential with Hellboy, especially if somebody could kick out a really solid, engaging film, or who knows if they could come up with a trilogy of Hellboy films. Well, we'll see. I guess time only tells. Maybe it's the right actor. If you look at the Batman, and again, I'm not trying to compare Hellboy to Batman by any means, but we started off with the Tim Burton versions, and then we had that stretch of the really campy versions before we got Christian Bale coming up with a pretty solid Batman trilogy. So, something like that happens with Hellboy, and you might have a pretty good pickup for this one right here, $220. Could be yours, but my book that I'm recommending to you is picking up the first cameo in Next Men #14. Very affordable, $10 on Mercari. Go for it. All right, let's take a look at the last book in this series.
Well, this week The big FOMO pick you've been waiting for is from DC Comics, and it is Omega Man #3, the first appearance of Lobo.
This book is the FOMO book of the week. And I got to tell you, up to this point, I've told you to avoid the FOMO books. And I got to tell you, this is one that I'm going to go against my advice. I think this is a book that this is a buy now. I think it's all about the FOMO. I think this book is highly undervalued. And if this comes to light, I think this is there's a huge upside in the value jump for this book. So really it comes from this article here or this information. James Gunn, who's now in charge of DC Comics, the movie versions, posted something right here, posted this image on his Mastodon account. Guess that's kind of like some type of a social network thing like Twitter. Don't know much about it. And when I looked into some of the other things, I saw a lot of speculation on Twitter, a lot of talk, a lot of buzz, and someone made a point that I thought was pretty interesting. He said, "Lobo in Peacemaker 2 makes a lot of sense." And I thought, wow, it sure does. If they were to bring Lobo into that series, oh my God. Um, I think they're doing a good job with Peacemaker. I enjoyed that series quite a bit, and I enjoyed what they did with Vigilante. I think Vigilante stock has increased quite a bit from where it was. It was basically maybe a dollar bin character, and he's out of that. And I apologize to any Vigilante fans. I'm one, and I don't think he is anymore. So let's take a look. And I got to tell you, when I started looking at these books, almost every book that I've found looks fantastic. So it's really odd. A lot of these books, and you think a book from 1983 would not hold up well, but these books have, and I think they're really, really undervalued. So let's take a look at this one, 85 bucks. It is on Facebook, and the seller is Kyle Keckler. I always like to look at what else Kyle is selling because it kind of gives you an idea on whether or not you have any leverage. Sometimes you find another book in there that you could pick up as well. So he's got a few comics that he's trying to sell. Not too many, just a couple. So it doesn't look like he's a huge seller. But here's the book. He says he's going to send it to you in a Gemini mailer. And does he have, yeah, $5 shipping. So let's take a look at this. So corner looks pretty solid, edge looks solid. A little bit of wear along the spine. Looks like a little bit of evidence of some kind of a spine roll or indentation along the spine. But I'm telling you, all in all, this book looks solid. Corner, upper right corner looks good. I'm not seeing any issues on the cover itself. That corner, look how tight that corner looks with all the black. Go to the back side of the book. It does need to be cleaned up. There's quite a bit of grime. Looks like there's a little bit of grime, a little spot maybe right here. But I think this back will clean up nicely. Has a little bit of dirt and grime on the back. That's really all it is. Corner looks a little bit worn there. Maybe some evidence of foxing there. Not sure what those little spots are. Bottom right corner looks pretty good. Again, you see a little bit more of that. Maybe my old eyes are not working too well, but I see some little spots down there. Possibly some evidence of foxing, which can be treated and removed. So this one right here, again, this is my #1 choice. 85 bucks on Facebook. I think this is a great pickup. And for a FOMO book right now, this one's really starting to heat up with the rumors. I think this would be a big pickup. I really do. I think there's a big upside to this, especially if James Gunn does do something with Lobo. And James Gunn is he's a master of taking very obscure characters, and Lobo is not one of them, and making them great like he did with Peacemaker and Vigilante. There you go. And there's the FOMO pick of the week. Some of the oddly enough, that were in, I'm recommending that you go out and get this book too. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, and I didn't even perhaps some talk about to James Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, bringing Lobo to the DC universe.
So hey, if you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Take a look at these other exciting links for more content. Hey, thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting.